What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Once again, welcome back to another pro analysis video, this time of the third and final super weekend of the league stages of the PUBG Mobile Pro League South Asia Season 3. My name is Varun and Ocean, joined by Ocean Sharma, and like always, this time once again, first of all, we will have a look at the leaderboard, the leaders of the leaderboard, and then we will have a look at few of the interesting graphs of a few interesting teams. Followed by, there's going to be the plays of the week, the top plays of the week, and in the end, to sum it all up, we will have the MVP of the week. So let's get things started. So first things first, let's talk about that leaderboard right there.
Exactly. When we talk about the leaderboard, I mean, you can see it on your screens, obviously. Top 10, there were not a lot of significant changes. I mean, the teams were there, they were already qualified for the finals, so they knew it was their business just to, get more and more chicken dinners. But when we talk about 16th position, that's where R3D was, 15th was F4, and these teams played 30 matches only. I mean, they missed out on one super weekend, and that is a big blow. But talk about Seal Esports, 15 matches played, and they came down to 14th position with 197 points that were there from super weekend 1 only.
Exactly, the team just played one super weekend and they still managed to make it, sitting on the 14th position after the drop of 2 weeks. But talk about the drop-off, right? There was one team that was playing their first super weekend in this final week, and that was Team Future Station. And well, they tried their level best, but it was really hard for them to make it.
At least $1,000 did come in their bank, and 1952 is the only team right now in top 16 without $1,000. That is a chicken dinner.
Now let's talk about a thing that I personally like the most. It's the graphs. And starting things off, we're going to talk about the team sitting on the 16th position. That's going to be R3D Esports. R3D Esports, I mean, they had a really good start to this tournament, right? As you can see it on the graph as well, I mean, week 1's performance was absolutely incredible and something that the team needed. But then there is the fall off of week 2.
I mean, that did happen, but they managed to get a chicken dinner on Super Weekend 1, obviously in the match of Sanok, and that just shows out there at one of the highest peaks for their performances. But if we move forward onto the Super Weekend 3, that's when it needed the most, and they got a chicken dinner at that moment as well, and that's how their graph just fluctuated. If they had their good games, they had it in their best momentums. If they had their bad games, well, it's a matter of ups and downs.
But talk about momentum shifts, I mean, that can be seen clearly in the graph of Team F4 as well. Week 1, the performance was not too great. Week 2, they weren't even present in the Super Weekend, and Week 3 comes along and we see F4 in a totally different form. I mean, day 1 they were off to a slow start, but day 2 they really came into their own.
We had a conversation with Khan about this in the interview as well, and Khan told us that the week that they missed actually helped them regain their momentum and think about their play style. And hey, they got 2 back-to-back chicken dinners. That matters a lot.
Exactly, it matters. And talk about things mattering, I mean, 1952, the team was coming in to this tournament with a lot of reputations that they had to live up to, but after the first week, I mean, there were a lot of questions that were there on the team, like how are they going to perform, how do they plan to come back? And well, from there on out, the team recovered really nicely, especially in week 3, the consistency was there. We even saw them get a really high kill game.
Exactly.
Alright, let's have a look at the best plays of this week, and starting things off on number 3, it's going to be an interesting situation between Venom Legends and Team 7Cs.
So we talk about the high area fights and the low area fights. That's where it went right, obviously, for one team, but it went horribly wrong for the other team. I mean, think about it. You have all the players surviving, you're thinking about how to get the perfect covers, but at that you see an airdrop and hey, greed is not good.
Well, it is never a good thing, but sometimes it can be. As we move on to the second play of the week, and it is coming from, well, Team Zeus.
I mean, you talk about Zeus and their gameplays, you talk about a hill and the contestation, well, they had to move forward. They were focusing on their rotations, and then Skylight Gaming, one bullet just hits them and they're like, who's there? There are kills. 4 kills, 8 kills, they just started wiping off squads and squads, and that is how the domination of Zeus always perceives the best out of the gameplay.
Exactly, but in this match, they weren't able to get the chicken dinner, right? There was too much pressure, they got overwhelmed, they got wiped out. But that is why we have the best play of the week once again from Team Zeus, where 2 players actually do clutch out the chicken dinner.
Before that, we were having this conversation, right? When the circle's not your friend, how you make it your game? Well, the zone was in Rozok. Zeus was outside Rozok. They slam in, get the chicken dinner with Zol surviving at 1 HP, having a cover of 1 rock going left and right, left and right. He knew if he would peek, that would be a mistake. So he just, rams out everything and gets that chicken dinner to give them the game of the Super Weekend.
And finally, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to have a look at the MVP of this week, and this time it is going to be none other than Godless.
Obviously, it had to be. I mean, if you talk about his gameplays, right, the player knows what his momentum is. Yeah. And talk about 3 players of Team Zeus. The 3 players had a total of 300 plus kills for themselves, with Godless topping up the charts against his teammates and obviously the lobby. That just shows that, you know, given a gun, given a chance, given a fight, he would love to take it in his own hands.
I mean, definitely. The team and the player individually were really good this week, and that is the reason they are sitting on the first position. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the 16 teams that will be moving forward to the finals of this PMPL South Asia Season 3. The finals are going to be starting soon. You guys take care. We'll see you in the matches.